Pleased now to be joined by One Championship's Colbey Northcutt from America. How's it going over there?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
It must be so nice for you just with all the uncertainties going on in the world right now, coming off a finish, coming off of 2 straight wins. The One Championship path for you has kind of turned out really nicely. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I'm happy that this one I got to finish. I obviously wanted to finish my first fight. So, between that time period from my debut and this last one, I had a long time to train and kind of tweak some things, and I'm really happy with the outcome. So I'm really looking forward to when I can get back in that circle and fight again.
What is life like for you living and breathing martial arts? Like your husband's Raymond Daniels, you got Sage as your brother.
Yeah.
Your whole family of martial artists, right? What is it like having access to all that knowledge and kind of passion for the game?
It's really unique. And I'm in a very awesome situation because obviously, like you said, I grew up with Sage. So I had a training partner my entire life from when we started karate. I was 7 and he was 4. So we grew up together training. And I think having a sibling, whether it be a brother or a sister that does what you do, martial arts specifically, that can either, hurt you or motivate you. And we pushed each other really hard. And I think we made each other better. So, he's been an awesome training partner my entire life. And then obviously through sport karate, I met my husband, Raymond, and we all kind of grew up doing sport karate together. So you might say. So, it's really awesome because now all of us have transitioned into MMA. So having somebody, whether I be at home and it be super late at night and we go out to the garage and train and I have my husband to train with, like I had Sage growing up training with. I mean, it is a really awesome thing. So, and it makes it even better that you have the people that you love in your family who are closest to you do what you do so they understand the grind and the passion. It makes it all better.
Do you feel like you've got your feet under the table a little bit now? I think in terms of the sport, probably nobody's plans have quite gone how they envisioned just because it's so tough to put on shows, to book fights get canceled. But do you feel comfortable now? Do you feel like a little bit of momentum behind you, a bit of confidence and getting you on a nice trajectory in the division?
Yeah, you could say that. I know that One Championship, their flyweight division for women's MMA is still growing. So I've only had 3 pro fights. I'm obviously still growing as a professional fighter myself. So I'm looking forward to growing with them, so to speak. But yeah, confidence, especially it is there, but I do know that I do need some more experience as well. So, just the more fights I get under my belt, the more confidence I'll get and the more experience I'll get, and it'll just be better, going up.
Yeah, it is kind of a new division in that respect. Do you get the sense that they're looking to build it out and bring in new talent?
Absolutely. I do know that not just in my division, but as a whole, they're looking to grow and expand in every area. So, I mean, obviously, they have the goal of coming to the US market and they're already doing that. I don't believe that they would have signed me without the goal to grow that division. I mean, One Championship is the largest MMA organization, not just MMA, everything organization in the world, from kickboxing to Muay Thai. They got everything. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to not only helping my division grow, but seeing where it goes, signing more talent, having more females to fight. So there's a lot coming in the future, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
How intrigued are you by what's going on down at atomweight, having a Grand Prix and also, having an all-female card? Does that spell to you that kind of exciting things are coming with One Championship?
Yeah, that's great. I think the more publicity, the more just everything with the women, to me, are just so exciting. And the atomweight division in One is just so stacked. So for them to do a Grand Prix, I mean, I'm super excited to see what happens with that. And then obviously, Angela Lee, she just had a baby, so she's taking a little bit of time off, but we'll be coming back. So there's some motivation. I would love to see her fight, the winner of the Grand Prix. But I would love, I've been asked this multiple times about if I would like a Grand Prix in my division. I would love that. They would, obviously it would bring more women to the division. They would sign more talent. And so I think that it would just, if you build it, they will come. Right. So Bring all the women. I love it. I'm excited to how that Grand Prix will turn out. I'm really looking forward to what'll happen in that one atom weight division. It's super exciting.
Who's impressed you the most, male or female, since you've joined this year?
Oh, good question. Honestly, the first two people that pop up in my mind when I think of who's impressed me, and for personal reasons too, but Angela and Christian Lee. And then, you know, their little sister Victoria is 16. She's super talented as well. But I look to them as siblings that I myself want me and Sage to be at in their position one day. I mean, obviously they're extremely talented and they're both world title holders, but they're brothers and sisters, and they do it together. So, and now they have a 16-year-old little sister that's coming up and doing it too, which is fantastic. They're just an awesome family. I think they represent the sport really well, and they're really good, you know, fighters, athletes, all around people to look up to. And I'm impressed by their entire family.
How's Sage doing? Because, I mean, you look at him and he looks like the pillar of health. He looks like the strongest guy I've ever seen in my life. And I think he's just had incredibly bad luck, hasn't he?
You know, that's actually a really good way to put it. It's hard because physically he looks okay. But, you know, he did get COVID earlier this year. He thought that he was okay and was better, started training again, was noticing some weird, funky things with his body. And then when he's getting all this blood work and medicals done, noticed that, you know, hey, these levels and things aren't right. So, you know, he's anemic now, is having issues with his kidneys. He's having all these problems. And when he feels good, so his doctors are saying, hey, take some time off, do not train. We're going to wait till your levels get better. When they're getting a little bit better, he starts to slowly work out again. And then he's in pain again. He's seeing doctors every week. And it's just a very frustrating situation. Because you're exactly right. He looks like he's the pillar of health and he looks like he's completely okay. So on the outside, you see like, well, you look fine, but there's a lot more going on to it than what we're able to figure out at the moment. But aside from the COVID stuff, he's actually doing really well, you know, in regards to his injury and stuff, and I was looking forward to fighting with him too. So hopefully we'll see him, you know, on a card coming soon if he gets cleared, when he gets cleared.
He's, of course, one of the most respectful people in the game. So a lot of people were surprised by Shinya's tweet towards him. What did you make of it?
I was surprised by that too. A lot of people, for some reason, think that he called Shinya out. Sage has never called anybody out in his entire career and is, like you said, super respectful. So he would never do that. So he tweeted at Shinya because after Shinya fought, you know, we fought the same night on the same card. After Shinya fought, Shinya said he would love to fight Sage. So because he said that in the ring, Sage obviously tweeted at him and said, hey, it's on. So I'm not sure where that whole thing is. I know that there was kind of a little rumor going around before the fight that Sage had called him out initially, which wasn't the case. So I'm not sure if that's what he believes, and that's why he's a little bit bitter at Sage. Maybe there's just a big old misunderstanding. But yeah, he's super respectful. He would never call anybody out or be like that intentionally. So it's a weird dynamic, but now Sage really, really wants to fight him. He did not like that. So I feel like, you know, maybe that needed to kind of kick him in the butt a little bit. So, you know, I think it'd be good for him. And I think it'd be good for the fight. It'd be good to lead up to it. So I hope that they do get to reschedule that match because I really, really would like to see it.
Yeah, adds a little bit of spice to it for sure. Already a good matchup.
Which is unlike Sage, which I think makes it more exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. I was wondering, I mean, we've seen women pop up at atomweight out of nowhere. You know, they just signed Julia, they signed Elise Anderson from Invicta. So in terms of next steps for you, how soon do you want to get back in there? Is there an existing opponent, or do you think it's a case of someone new might be brought into?
I think it could go either way. I mean, there are only a couple other women in my weight class right now that have fought and won. So I do think that it could be one of those women, or it could be somebody new entirely. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm open to whoever they put in front of me, I'll fight. So whenever they call me and they want me to fight, I'll be ready. I'm still staying in shape and still training. Got a little bit of a cold right now. I'm not sure if you can tell, but other than that, I'm ready to go whenever they want me. So if it's somebody existing or new, it's okay.
How's the experience been, coming over from the States, going to fight in Singapore? Maybe you thought you'd be seeing a bit more of Asia when you first signed, but at the moment,
Yeah.
Singapore, maybe it's more the inside of hotel rooms than actually getting out and seeing these places. But what's it been like overall?
No, you're right. My first fight with one was absolutely amazing. The entire experience was great. I was there for about 10, 11 days in Singapore, got to see the whole city, got to explore. Obviously, it was back in 2019. So that was a really great experience. And when I signed with them, I was looking forward to fighting all over Asia, and exploring all sorts of different places that I had never been to before. But, nobody could have anticipated what would be happening right now with COVID. But this past fight I had was a totally different experience. It was exactly what you just said, staying in a hotel room, not being able to leave, not seeing anything. I'm super grateful that they were able to work something out with the government, that they were able to have fights and get us over there, especially without the 2-week quarantine, because that would have been miserable. But I mean, I don't know, I don't think any fighter would say that they love the entire experience of not getting to leave your hotel room, from having to schedule 2 training sessions a day that were only 45 minutes a piece and having to take so many COVID tests. It was a little bit unpleasant, but when you look at the whole picture, I am extremely grateful that I was able to fight. And, to be able to fight and do what you love, you'll put up with and do whatever you need to do to make do. So, it's okay. You just got to work through it. Hopefully all this stuff will get done soon so I can fight in other places without the crazy quarantine. But as a whole, I mean, I'm still grateful, obviously.
Well, it's great to see you in one championship. Looking forward to seeing you back in there soon. Great to chat to you, Colbey. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was good to talk to you too.